I mean, this record is certainly the most collaborative record we've ever done. And Basil's contribution could not have been greater on this record. But it's always been there, just more tacit. And this time it was very, very, very verbalized. And so, you know, there's something that we agreed upon silently 25 years ago that was about making music together, and everything else sort of has to fall in line with that.
I really like the new record, you know. I like the songs. I like the sort of conversation that Jim and I are having from song to song, you know, on the record. I like the playing a lot, you know. I like, it was very nice to have Bob Packwood, our new keyboard player, on the record. And when I was sitting at home writing the songs and sort of starting to arrange them in my head, I definitely heard, you know, where we could stretch out a bit more with Bob on this record. So that was very enjoyable.
We're really kind of only good at the thing that we do. And when we step outside of it very far, it doesn't really go that well. So we usually go back to what we know best, you know? And so in that sense, we're kind of defined by our limitations and maybe helped by our limitations. So I think we inadvertently give people what they expect.
When you get people that have been playing together for 22 years in a room and they start working out the foundation of a song, you see a collaborative process that's really rare. And it was like being in a songwriting workshop with some of the most talented people I've ever gotten to do that with.
We have broadened the palette that we've worked from over the years. I think when we started, we were pretty much a country rock band. We did songs that sort of fit into that rock with country in it, and then we had, from the beginning, this kind of wacky improvisational element.
I remember saying in the first few weeks of tracking this record that this is one of the more positive recording experiences I've been involved in my career. I think in a large part because we were all glad to see each other. It had been a while, and the boys had some great songs, and we were all looking forward to getting our hands on them, and it was just a real comforting, relaxed time.
This is probably my favorite Blue Rodeo album, you know, in quite some time. You know, they've always had really good singles, and you know, because they've been around so long, there is a tendency with anyone who's had a career like that to sort of take them for granted. You know, maybe you sort of pop in now every now and then and check out what they're doing. But this record is so strong. You know, mine's like my favorite was always Diamond Mine, that album, and Casino. And I think this one is right up there with their best stuff, you know. And I don't know if it's just, I don't really know what's going on or what it is about this record. It just seems that they're kind of rejuvenated or something.
I think we're just more comfortable with allowing that exchange of ideas to happen. You know, I think that, again, you know, 15 years ago, I was a little more, I wanted the songs to be a certain way because, you know, I just sort of felt that, you know, they had to be a certain way. And now I think that we enjoy, you know, each other's musicality and the contributions that everyone makes to the songs.
People think, oh, you're a go-between, or, you know, are you like the buffer between the two of them? Not at all. I'm usually fighting one of them or the other one, right? And never, you know, there used to be a day when I used to tend to be the guy who kind of told them, you know, you guys got to chill out, and, you know, I was kind of the referee sometimes. But I don't think that's the case anymore. I think now I've kind of started engaging in the fight a lot more.
It kind of ebbs and flows, you know, that different people contribute in different amounts at different times. I think Basil really stepped up to the plate on this record. Basil's not one of the two primary songwriters, obviously. I mean, it's Jim and Greg who do the writing, but you can really hear Basil's contribution, and you can, especially, I think, on this record, or with this body of work, you can really hear the collaboration between Greg and Basil.
You know, I mean, if I read reviews that say, well, it's the same old stuff from Blue Rodeo, I think, well, that's a record that has jazz, you know, this new record has a bossa nova on it, it has rock, it has country, it has this. So our parameters are pretty broad already. We have never been inclined to apply ourselves wholeheartedly to one particular style, and certainly not something that was trendy. I mean, we never really particularly been connected to what's trendy. We've always sort of followed the values that we've just held for years. The way of recording, the type of performances we want on record, and then the types of shows we want to do.
We used to have, you know, long drawn-out arguments about a song, and we'd be extremely passionate about it. And so we returned to that on this record.
Call me a liar, a coward and a cheat. And in my defense, what case could I possibly make? How could I betray a heart so tender and sweet? How could I deny a love so complete? Well, it's hard to explain the troubles that I made. Lucky is the man that learns from his mistakes. There is little left for the man who hesitates. Tell me what is gained by those who always take. So here's what's left of my heart. Yeah, it's all torn apart. You say your hands are tied, and it's time to say goodbye. Still it makes me wonder, and it makes me cry. Yes, it makes me wonder, and it makes me cry. Yes, it makes me wonder, and it makes me cry. How the best things are won with sacrifice. I can't stand the sight of my own reflection. I just don't like what I see. And all I ever hear you say to me is that I'm not the man that I used to be. So take the veil from your eyes. This is who I've always been. Well, I know it's not a pretty sight. Yeah, I tried.